Now let's talk about the Footswitch. I don't have the correct Footswitch. The music store I bought the amp from screwed up. The guy I bought it from, he said... Well, anyway, here's the story. I bought the amp from a good friend of mine at one of the music stores. He goes and gets me everything. He gets me the manual. It's the 6262 manual, and he gets me the 6262 Footswitch for my 333XL. Plug it in, it works just fine. It's actually an identical Footswitch, it's just mislabeled. Anyway, I went back to complain to him. He's like, no, man, I gave you the proper manual and the proper Footswitch. I argued with him for 10 minutes, and I figured it was not worth arguing with him over a stupid Footswitch that works anyway, and when I can download the manual off the internet, no biggie. So somebody out there in Washington State has a Bugera 6262 that has a 333XL Footswitch with it. The Footswitch here has the clean. It has lead, it has reverb, and it has effects loop. And that's how you can tell. On the 333XL, the clean would have an LED, the lead would be crunch, the reverb would be lead, and the FX loop would be the same. Otherwise, it works identically to the one that's supposed to come with a 333XL. This is a standard DIN 6 PS2 style keyboard plug. The thing, I actually like this because with a man like me who can find so many PS2 keyboards in thrift shops, if I ever need a new cable for my Footswitch, I know where to go. Goodwill. I can always find a new connector at Goodwill for this thing. Goodwill and a multimeter, and I'll have this thing back up and going in a jiffy. And I've already smashed it once with a guitar stand. It's holding together pretty well, but one of the LEDs is intermittent, but not like I care. I never stare at the LEDs. I learn how to work my Footswitch. As far as the 333XL goes, it does have problems, at least early in the production. I'm not aware if Bugera's fixed these issues or not yet. The first issue, and the one that I had the biggest beef with for the longest time and didn't figure out what it was until it finally killed the whole amp for a while, was the plastic clip that holds the high voltage transformer to the tube section of the circuit board. This little clip has two little metal connectors in there that are held together by the plastic clip, and that's how electricity transfers between the two of them. What happens is when you're a guy like me who plays in a rock band that plays really super loud and that head sitting on top of the cabinet vibrating, what happens is even within microns of an inch, you've got these two connectors doing this number here, you know, and they're arcing and sparking and generating heat. And then your plastic over time starts to heat up until it reaches melting point and it melts. And then eventually it melts just enough to split the connectors away from each other. That's why when I scraped the connectors and bent them a bit, they hooked back together and I had power to the tubes. The resolve for this is to cut the entire clip off of the transformer and wire each wire into the board directly. I've heard Bugera does this in warranty repair, but since I didn't have time to get it done, I had a gig very soon when that video was made, and I didn't have a backup amp at the time, and I couldn't afford the crate. I've been having some issues in that area this year. Thank you very much, fucking economy. Yeah, I just soldered them in myself, and it works, because I have enough experience to do that myself. Other problems I've heard of, you can go look at a blog for a guy called Beer Church, who I think is on ultimateguitar.com or something, a part of what they call the Bugera Users Militia. He has a blog on the Bugera 333XL he has and all the things he's done to it to make it more reliable.